Kyle, what's going on? So good to see you here, brother.
Yeah, we got some people filling in, which is good, filing in, and we're right on time. So I guess, yeah, I mean, we're starting. We did the sound check. Your sound's sounding crisp. You must be at your studio.
Whenever the unmute button works, yes, I am finally home after much travel. I'm supposed to be at permissionless right now, but my kids got sick, so I said, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stay home this time around. It's so much traveling, man. There's so much going on.
Oh, it's like conference after conference. And then I saw, like, I was going to ask you, you did what looked like a really super cool, innovative virtual studio sort of deep end thing in Seattle. Like, tell me how that was, man.
I have never seen anybody with that production quality in Web3. I gotta say, like, it is a fully immersive. Like, not only is it an LED like wall, there's a ceiling to it, and it runs Unreal Engine, so you can literally play games on that whole screen with like incredible resolution. It's wild. I've never seen that cool of a tech in the space. And those guys over at Vossler Studios, man, like they're actually just trying to break into the Web3 space and bring, the things that they've done in the past, because they've worked with like Lufthansa, T-Mobile, like so many different like high caliber, people. And they just want to bring it to Web3. Like they drop their prices like crazy because they want to reach a different market. They want to actually get involved in this whole thing. And they're partnering with Conduit. So while those GPUs aren't in use, they're going to actually be running Conduit, not cores, but blades down there, which is really, really awesome.
Yeah, I heard a lot about Conduit, and I've kind of been meaning to tee up with their I think his name is it Brendan, their CEO, to touch
Brandon
base with
Baker.
him.
Brandon
Yeah, that's
Baker.
it, man. Yeah, from our dear friend Larry.
You're already in there. What do you mean? You got to talk to him. He already knows about you. Like Mask is getting integrated. Like it's just happening. There's like not even a question about it.
Oh yeah, I just mean don't leak anything yet. But no, it's all probably been heard in some of the spaces. But I mean to catch up with them because we've been cooking, man. We got our kitchen full humming. That's kind of why we've been a little quieter than normal. But yeah, we've been cooking up lots of stuff, man. The next week is where some of that big stuff's going to break. So break out into the open. So we're pretty excited, and we'll share some of the stuff that we can today, which would be nice.
All right. So tell me here, how do you? I don't want to say leak information, but how do you release information? Like, what's the idea as far as Mask is concerned? Like, do you have a platform that you go to first?
Well, to be fair, what we want to do better at, I actually had 2 marketing meetings with the crew, the people that help, and then some external groups, and then our main guy, T-Slam. I said, look, we need to share it with our close community first, more regularly, right? So like if you're listening and you're a masker, like if you're one of the ones that holds like the NFT legacy badge or the OG status and stuff in our Discord, you're going to hear this stuff first regularly. So you'll be one of the first to hear what's coming in the next week or so. And then we will sort of layer it out from there. So it'll come through our main channels like Telegram and Discord. It'll come out officially public on our X account and blogs on our website. So we're kind of doing it from the inside out more systematically now, and just giving that benefit to our OGs and our really, really hardcore core supporters, just to show them the love too. So they get sort of really the earliest news.
I love it. Now, I don't know if it's you or me, but your voice did sound a little bit robotic at the end there.
Ooh, could be my reception. I'm hoping this mic is working. I'm using this headset with the mic on it, but is it clear?
I'll nerd out for just 30 seconds. So I can tell that the diaphragm of that microphone is small because your voice doesn't sound as full as normally does.
I see. It's on a headset, so I can push. It's like an external mic. Let me see if I bring this closer. Does this work?
It works. You're fine. Like, it's not going to make a difference as far as how loud or low you are. Just don't touch it so it doesn't go. Because that's usually the problem. Because my mic I got a great mic, but if I start messing with it, it's not going to sound good.
Oh yeah, it crackles.
Now you have it right under your nose, so now we can hear you breathing.
Ooh. Come on, X. So you were working before. Okay, we're gonna try and work this out. But hopefully, if I'm clear enough, if my articulation is sounding consistent, that's good.
Now you sound good. Your enunciation also sounds great. So you got this.
Nice, nice. But yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan to let out the big stuff. So we've got a couple things we can share today, but yeah, I mean, the other thing I was noticing a lot, you're probably noticing this like full-on censorship coordination across the world is just getting pretty crazy, man. Every week I see something get banned, VPNs getting restricted, Apple removing VPN apps from their app store. I mean, is this coordinated? I don't even know, bro. We're losing options, right? Mask has got to fight against this.
Well, more than coordination, I think everybody's on the same page. They're just like moving forward, each entity on its own. And it looks coordinated because they all have the same, thing in mind, which is definitely not giving us the freedom to browse wherever we want. So, I mean, par for the course. I mean, what can I say? It doesn't have to be coordinated at this point. They're literally just trying to do the same thing across multiple platforms. So it ultimately does end up looking coordinated.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're not all talking together with these elites that all meet together all the time, but maybe they are. But at the same time, there's some weird, it's just crazy to see this stuff.
Whoa. I'm just saying they're not doing it that often. I'm not saying that they haven't done it. I'm just saying they're not going, hey, I'm going to shut this one down today. Okay, you shut that one down tomorrow. I'm just saying, like, yes, they're not coordinating to that extent. But yeah, you better believe that, conversations have been had. There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Yeah, if you're unfortunately a big user of Discord, I mean, I just saw that Turkey has banned, and Russia banned Discord, so you definitely need a VPN or some kind of, privacy routing to get access to your Discord account. What if you're a project leader of a crypto company or a startup and that's what you're using? I mean, you're kind of like that. You're forced to do something, right?
And
it's crazy.
And I know plenty of those. So yeah, it's kind of sad, like the world that we live in today, that overnight your business can be brought down, ultimately by censorship. Like, it's not a good feeling, I got to say, but that's why we're here. That's why we're here. That's why there's such a big need in this space for technologies that will allow people to browse freely, regardless of where they reside. That's why I'm pumped about Mask and what you guys are doing.
Yeah. So a little bit about some of our progress. What we've been cooking on, of course, is some of the stuff that's taken us through the last 3 to 4 weeks. But we've got the next update for the browser set to be released very, very soon, probably in like 3 to 4 days. Sometimes we don't necessarily release it on the weekend because a lot of people are sort of quieter and busy, or hopefully going out and touching grass. And they don't really pick up on it. So it is pretty much ready. So we'll have that, and that will fix a few bugs. It's going to have a few little things in there. We might actually have a teaser in there on what's coming next week as well. And that's all going in parallel with our extension. That's the big piece that we've been working on from the tech side, because that's going to unlock literally billions of users able to run Mask from their default browser. We know a lot of the browser users are using Google Chrome, and that's fine if they're extra conscious about their privacy in Chrome. It's not as bad as some browsers, but at least you'll be able to run an extension like Mask. And part of the extra work we're doing now while we're on those things is that if you already are a Mask user, and let's say you're using the browser from time to time, or it is your go-to browser, if you go ahead and install the extension, it will detect that you've already installed, and it will carry over some of your settings. So we're doing that extra work so users can seamlessly go between their extension and their Mask browser, or vice versa. So we feel like that'll be a little extra bonus for people who are already hardcore Mask users or fans. You can easily port over. So that's kind of the launch plan with that when that's ready.
All right, so hard question for you, Corey. The information that you're porting over, is this info going to be ported over locally? Is this being hosted somewhere? What's the deal?
Oh yeah, good question on that. It's all local on your machine. So really it's just going to check and say, oh, Mask is already running, like the service is already running. We're just going to send the standard local message to get the setup okay, it's already set up, boom, and you just click. So it doesn't send anything. Of course, that's our motto anyway with Mask. We're not sending any information about any users anywhere outside your machine, any like identifying information, and anything you set up is pretty much local on your computer. And all your stuff that you have loaded, like your wallet that you want to use and stuff, that's all encrypted on your machine. It never goes anywhere. And of course, if you wipe it all, there's no trace of it. That would be it. So there's never a trace if you delete Mask and delete it from your machine. You're basically browsing without a trace.
All right, you keep bringing song titles up in my mind. I'm gonna try to avoid singing. That's without a trace, by the way, if anybody's wondering. But that's good. I mean, that means that you're actually not, hosting any of the user information on, anywhere, right?
Yeah. And some people actually referred this to us once or twice in the past, but we knew that a couple wallets in our browser are not the most, or at least historically haven't been the best with user privacy. Looking at you, MetaMask, and we actually took the time as well to disable that from being the default Web3 wallet when you install Mask Browser as well. So for a little while, it was like when the minute you install as a new user, MetaMask will like pop up with the friendly fox and say, hey, set me up. And because our browser is so private, it was actually blocking a lot of the telemetry apps that kind of run with the extension, sending minimal stats, but definitely some user info through some channels. Like from the extension, it's sending it across to MetaMask's servers or whatever. Now that's completely disabled. So unless you want MetaMask to run, it's not going to run. So that's actually good. And some of the privacy maxis in the community were like, yeah, we should probably turn that off by default. And I was like, you're right. For a while, it was our only, stable wallet because some of the others were still in development and stuff from the other providers. So now we've got it all set up and all the wallets are working. So you've got a choice of, I think, 4 or 5 wallets now in this next update, which is nice.
I love it. Now, talk to me a little bit about this extension, if you don't mind. Like, what are the features that are actually going to be ported over? Because, Mask Browser is not only useful, but it's really pretty. So what can we get from Mask just through the extension that's coming up?
Yeah, great question, because we have put a lot of love into that user panel. So if you're a browser user, you'll see that whenever you interact with Node, the actual core software, and clicking on to turn on the DVPN and the privacy routing and all the settings for that, that's in this little panel that kind of looks like almost like an extension pop-up or even a cell phone screen size, right? And that's all intended because we want to have that same work we've done for that, be able to sit in the extension and then a feature into the mobile app, which will look nice. So that's what you'll see in the extension. Pretty much all the familiar panels for consuming, for serving, changing your settings. You'll have the node hop feature, which is live now. So you can change your hops from one hop, which is essentially like a very simple DVPN that exists now, where you're hopping just to one neighbor away, and they're giving you the traffic back from wherever that location is, but you can increase it up to 5 hops. And the more hops, the more security and privatizing action is going on, but you trade a little bit of speed. So that feature's in there. We're also working on the country selection. So once that's live, that'll be in both. That's still in development. So obviously that's like the biggest, most desired feature of a VPN or a DVPN provider. And it's got a lot of work going on because it's a complex thing. But that will be in both. And what we're trying to work on now, we're hoping it's live. We plan on it being live in the extension, but if it's not quite ready, we may just have like a preview of it. We're going to evolve our Mask Premium offering. And what we're experimenting with is some people maybe don't want to buy the Mask token straight away and just hold a bunch of it. Like we do have a premium model where if you hold, I think it's 500 tokens now, you get all the features unlocked and you can just browse. And of course, when mainnet's on, it'll use Mask tokens to pay the servers. And then if you're serving the network, you will earn Mask tokens. We want to offer a way that someone can do almost like a subscription where if you want to pay for a month or say several months or a year, that the mass tokens component will be abstracted away. And so you'll just get a certain amount of mask for your subscription time, and it will just pop into your wallet automatically with a little bit of gas. And of course, you won't have to worry about topping up mask all the time, unless you're a heavy user. Maybe you need to get some, or you want to hold some. But this will just be a very simplistic model, which will be familiar. See, the goal is to probably onboard as many Web 2 type of people, or people who are new to crypto. Maybe they're not super familiar with wallets, with DEXs, with getting tokens. They might just be coming right off Coinbase, for example. Hint, hint. They will be able to just pay a flat fee. Say, I'm not going to give pricing, but let's say it's for 1 month, $9 or $10. That's all they worry about. Boom, done. 30 days. There's enough data for a heavy user, say, I don't know, 800 gigabytes, and they're set for the whole 30 days. They don't have to worry about tokens. It still all fits into the utility model because the mass token is still the fuel for everything, but just that user doesn't have to think about it, right? So that's been a really, really big undertaking behind the scenes, how we're going to facilitate the token aspect with airdropping and things like that, securing a hardened faucet, subscription providers. So we've got a lot of that done, but it's still like not quite finalized with all that. But that's a pretty big thing. So I know I spent a little time talking on that. You probably have some questions.
No, that's only great.
Nice.
Sorry.
You're like, I nailed it.
All right. So as far as that payment is concerned, as far as, the monthly, is that still going to be done through some kind of decentralized wallet, or there are different avenues for people to actually get in?
Great question. The very first offering we've envisioned to roll out, let's call this phase 1. We haven't labeled things with like fancy names or whatever, but let's say it's mass premium subscription model. Phase 1, we don't want to do any personal information, of course, as we have now. So all you'll need is a wallet. The provider may ask for an email, but we don't get the email address. Of course, you could also use a private email if you want to set up a fresh one or a burner one. And the only reason that's there is if you're on a recurring subscription, that provider can email you if you bounce your payment. So it's like if I don't pay my gym membership, they're going to let me know, hey, buddy, if you go to the gym now, then we're not going to let you in because you're overdue. So this is the only reason why you might have to have an email. But all the stuff is done with Web3 wallets. There's not a fiat option we're going to open up. But that may come in phase 2. This provider does offer that. We kind of want to stay, purely Web3 for now and see what the uptake is with our marketing we've planned and stuff, and then see if these other payment methods are desirable for users and for customers. So right now, it's still pretty much private, pseudo-anonymous. You just need a wallet. You do your subscription payment. You set your term, and you go. And you browse privately as much as you want.
Love it. Love it. All right, going back to the 500 tokens, I know that it used to be 1,000, then we brought it down to 500. With the volatility of the token, is there a model in the future that might look a little different, that number might change based on token price by chance?
Yeah, we're experimenting with that too. So like I said, with the subscription evolving, like the premium, it's almost like a dual premium model. So that the token, the mass token amount to hold is still 500, and that could be adjusted to before mainnet and stuff. But yeah, it will eventually become a dynamic amount because we don't want to price people out if they just want to have, if they're a holder of Mask and they just want all the features. We don't want it to, for a new user, maybe to have to buy, say, $300 of Mask because Mask is now appreciated a lot, which it will. No, not financial advice, but just with our adoption plans and stuff, it's not going to be sitting at like what it is now forever. So yeah, it has to adjust with the market. But during that time, we're going to look at other ways to like make it easier to facilitate premium, not just for people who hold a certain amount of mass, but these subscription models, and then also maybe other other loyalty models to be able to get the features. So that type of stuff will evolve with that. Just a little early thing as well, I'll mention, is another premium feature we want to continue finalizing internally and roll it out is what we're going to call like premium neighborhoods. And this might be like a ring fence group of trusted providers for exit nodes, which won't have heavy traffic because only premium users can access them. So think of it like, I use Proton from time to time. I do like some of their stuff, and I've used their VPN before. And if you're a paying Proton VPN customer, you get access to Proton Plus servers, which are less, because it's only for premium paying customers, there's less traffic on there, so they're faster, and you might have some extra locations that are, more desirable or whatever. So it's kind of like that, but for Mask. But we're going to keep it centralized, so it's not like one company is running all these. They'll be spread across either trusted providers, possibly, let's say HashAI, because they're doing node rentals and node infrastructure and stuff. Like, we'll get trusted partners to offer these high bandwidth servers, but they'll be premium, so only premium servers can use it. So normal users, like who want to just use it month to month, pay as you go, just hold a bit of tokens in there, all the free features, which all the major privacy features are always going to be free. They can use whatever they want and still access everything. They just won't have the access to the premium service. So that's something we've also been working on too for the future.
That's awesome. And I'm guessing that's also going to be a benefit to the people that are running those premium exit nodes, because they're going to directly benefit from the premium, users, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so we're going to look at how we can curate those groups, because we want to make sure they're like high uptime, high reliable users. So yeah, we'll be doing some campaigns with that and just keeping it, so we've got like really good quality providers and stuff. And at the same time, the fact that this country selector feature is, it's quite a complex thing to finish, but it's actually going to give us an edge, like above most privacy projects that are doing similar things to us. Because if you think about it, if you're in a desirable place for content, let's say US, UK, well, maybe UK not as much anymore, but places like where the content that people want to go to is hosted. If you're running your node and you're serving from that country, you're going to get more traffic because people can now select, hey, I want a server in the US. So if you're in the US now, maybe you don't need to browse on Mask because you can surf most sites you want to with no restrictions. But people on the other side of the world who need that, they're going to be picking your servers, the ones around you and yourself. So that now unlocks even more demand potential for people who are already in maybe more desirable places. So yeah, the earning potential for those types of servers are going to be through the roof. Let's just say no one wants to exit right now in Turkey. No one's going to run a node in Turkey and get lots of traffic, sadly. Maybe for routing, though.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. And you mentioned like there are people running, companies and all that out of those countries. Like I know people there right now, devs that use Discord every single day. It's tough, man. Like I'm excited about Mask because it helps people that literally are being left out to dry and didn't even know that this was going to happen. All of a sudden, it's like poof, we're gone. Kind of like Brazil, right? I mean, we did a big thing for Brazil, trying to reach out to those guys, making sure that they knew that Mask was an option. It's sad, the world that we live in, but I'm glad Mask is here to help.
Yeah, and just to point out, something that makes our network and our design so great and really just kind of like that wholesome, everyone does it. I mean, I say it a little bit as a slogan, like Team F, right? Together, everyone achieves more freedom. But even the people in those countries that are more restricted, the fact that they're routing between each other also helps the network. So you might not be the last exit node in the request where you're giving the traffic from a server nearby, but you might be hopping the traffic between two other nodes around you. You don't know who's it going to and who's it's coming from ultimately, but you're still integral in hopping that traffic. So Mask operates with being untraceable, right? It's like Tor, like hop one might be, let's say someplace nearby, and then hop 2 is a completely different country, and hop 3 is where you want the country content from. It might be US. So hop 1 and 2 could still be people in these, restricted areas, and they still earn from that. So it's still, really important for everyone who is able to and knows, how to set it up safely and have all the right settings, which we have by default anyway. Don't modify some of those if you're not sure. That supports the network as well, and you also benefit from that. So you get to earn in mainnet. So yeah, all that's super important. And again, it is like everyone, the more in the network, the more the freedom can proliferate, the more users around have options to browse, without restrictions. So that's how it all works.
Now, talking about that extension, are people going to have to like log in with their wallets for the extension? How does that handshake happen?
Oh, I'm glad. It's funny because I saw a few comments about this this particular thing, and a few of the. I guess I would call myself a privacy maxi, but a few of the OG privacy maxis who are like really, really Web3 native. I feel the same as some of them. I've seen comments on X recently, and what they've been saying is, hell, if I'm logging into if I'm going to a site and it's asking me to connect my wallet and sign a message just to get to the app, just to even see what's going on in the app, you're dead to me. It's like, why do I want to sign a message with my wallet and I haven't even used the platform yet? I haven't even done anything on chain, right? So we're not going to impose that type of thing just for principle. Not going to try. We're just try not to avoid completely ever putting that in place. So in terms of the extension, the only thing you need to do is import the wallet you want to choose to use. You can create a brand new one, which we also recommend too, because it's a fresh wallet. It might not have any on-chain history and not tied to any of your real assets or real wallets where you have, some of your net worth and stuff in, or you don't want to connect it to using Mask. It's good practice. It's not that there's any security risk on our end, but just having a clean, record on the wallet is best practice. So you have both options. You can import a wallet you might use for every day, maybe a hot wallet that you just do random stuff on chain with. You can create a wallet, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to sign into anything. The minute that's done, the Mask setup is complete. All you do is set a password, and that's it. No signing in, no connecting to anything. And of course, that means we're not hosting any infra, any auth, any back-end verification models, anything. We don't host any of that. It's a waste of money, but also we don't want to do that, because if you end up having to log something, guess what? That means the data is sitting somewhere, and we want to handle, if anything, minimal, if not zero data of any users as possible. So that's how we'll set that up. But I know it's a bit of a long-winded answer, but that's, I think, how a lot of Web3 should be operating. But how many times do you have to sign into stuff, Action, from day to day with a signing transaction?
I don't. I'm one of those people that if it asks me to sign before I'm doing anything, I'm out. I just don't do it.
Good, man. So yeah, I was talking to you with that stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's so annoying.
It's a little silly, right? Like, do you want user adoption or not? Like, if you do, why are you going to gatekeep people from coming in, by asking them to connect the wallet? Let them see the power of the application, and then let them FOMO in going, yeah, I really want to use this. I really want to use this application and the features that are within it. To me, that's just basic marketing principles, but I mean, I could be wrong. I've only done this for 20 years.
Yeah, that's right. Only 20 years. Don't give away your age again. Come on. Linkin Park, look at this.
Oh, that's right. I remember that song coming out when I got my first marketing job. That actually checks out 20 years ago.
It's all, there's no coincidences in this life. But I feel you, man. We don't want sign-ins and all that stuff. I mean, to be fair, there's platforms that I kind of prefer to use, or I've gotten used to using, and I guess I relatively trust them. But every time if a new one pops up, I literally sit there and in my mind I'm like, if I click sign, there goes my IP address. Like, it's sending somewhere through the ether to this platform server, and they're like, hey, this guy's wallet is tied to this IP, and hopefully nothing ever happens with that, and maybe it never will. But yeah, I just look at it and I'm like, oh, there it goes.
There's no such thing as CIA honeypots. Come on now.
Never.
Did you see that one
Well,
today?
Oh, I saw. Oh no, I actually saw something else about the another three-letter agency. So maybe you should tell me this one in case I missed it. Well, you're muted. They've got him.
I couldn't unmute there for a second. Yeah, I mean they set up a fake coin to basically track people. That, believe it or not, like that's a real thing. Like it got posted on Cointelegraph. It's kind of wild that we're here now. But just then, FBI created Next Fund AI, a crypto token to catch suspects in crypto fraud. Yeah, this is the one.
Oh yes, I did see that. They've found 3 market makers who were wash trading. Oh, yeah. It's not a good look. Obviously, it's funny because everyone who's been in crypto at least 1 or 2 cycles knows that happens all the time. And whether or not it's easily detectable, it's like, okay, but sleuths like Zach, XBT and stuff, they could probably see that and figure it out on chain. But now you've got 3-letter agencies trying to like entrap them. Like, yeah, it's really, they're up in their game around here. Not like they didn't already track a lot of stuff, but wow. Crazy.
I mean, it just goes to show, like, it's if you bought a token, they know a whole lot about you. Like, just keep that in mind.
That's right.
Like, that's the whole thing. Like, yes, they were trying to catch some specific people, but at the same time, they got a lot of user data out of that as well. So what they do with that, yeah, only they know.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And I think that kind of just reemphasizes how, if you're doing some things, not like out of fear, but if you're doing stuff in Web3 and crypto and you just want to preserve that privacy that you deserve, like to have for yourself, it's like if you go out and you sit at a cafe and it's a crowded cafe, are you going to like pull out your banking app or open your laptop and start doing all your online banking and all your accounts are showing and your dollars are showing and account numbers might be visible on screen? You're not going to do that with someone sitting right next to you, right? It's almost like online. Like, why would you want to just have that all open for everyone to see if you're interacting with crypto and Web3, especially if you're in a place maybe that frowns upon that because the governments don't like it or whoever wants to restrict it or whatever? Like, just use a VPN or DVPN. Like, just use Mass Browser and turn it on. It's free right now. And it might be a little slower than your normal connection if you're used to fiber, but at least, you're not leaking your IP everywhere you go. Even if they try and track it, it's not going to be yours, So it's just one of those things. I think more people are thinking about it every day, and we want to be there in those conversations. So that's, going into the marketing side, that's our angle with the other thing we will hopefully, it's pretty much scheduled for next week, but to reveal our new chain, because we want to be front and center for those conversations where people talk about, oh, I do want to be a little bit more private. I am conscious about my, where I'm interacting online and what I'm doing to make sure I'm not openly, browsing where people can harvest my info or track it or do sort of things that I don't agree with. I have tools that I can use that are easy and they're easy to onboard and they're simple and I understand them with one click. That's where we want to be. So we feel like this next chain we're going to is going to put us in front and center for, the next 9-10 digits of users onboarding.
So why did you go with this chain?
Well, we can't rewind and then replay what I said, right? No, I'm just kidding. We feel that this chain is definitely going to be onboarding the next, I guess, 9 figures of users. They're staged to do that. There's some chains that probably will do that too, but we feel like this will be a group that is going to be there. A lot of retail people. Also, we've kind of looked at the space in the ecosystem they have, and there's not a lot of privacy projects there. Like, we've done a lot of searches in different places, and it's almost like we're not, competition's good, and having like friendly rivalry and stuff, or just pushing technology with others in the space is all good and healthy. But it's also nice to be in a place where you're like one of the only ones offering some services, greenways, almost like a greenway. and you could say, hey, try us out, because you don't have, there's not a lot of alternatives if you're not stuck, but if you're in this chain, in this ecosystem, and you want to stay there for certain features and products, why not use the ones right there? So that's kind of some of the research and theory behind us choosing it. And again, this doesn't mean we won't ever choose more chains. This is also proof that we can scale to other chains and be able to support multi-chain, because we all know the future is multi-chain, right?
So, I mean, you're dead on as far as first mover advantage. I mean, that still counts when you're dealing with different chains, because let me tell you, like, different wallets go to different, chains for me with different amounts of money. So it's I'm a hot mess. Like, let's not even get into the number of wallets I have. But, my liquidity is different depending on what chain I'm on. But a big thing for me is gas fees. Is this one going to have low gas fees or high gas fees? Like, is that something that I should be concerned about?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, because that is the little techie side that also is a bonus for this chain. So I think it stands to be maybe 100 times less gas than Polygon, which of course, back when we first scaled from ETH, knowing that ETH would never really be viable for the peer-to-peer model with transactions between each other because of gas, Polygon was one of the best at the time, and these other ones were all starting out their journey. OP and Optimism, Arbitrum, all of them were sort of quite early. So now we're going to be going, to these other technologies and these other chains, and this one is absolutely super cheap on gas, and it's going to be very easy for people who aren't on that chain already to bridge. We've also looked into that. Is the bridge options and security behind that very tried and true? Is it easy to use? Is the user interface going to be seamless for people? And there's a lot of bridges now. A lot of that's been built out now since the last cycle. I mean, I remember you had to use Wormhole, and then after they got hacked, you're like, man, I don't want to bridge anywhere. Like, what am I going to do? There's a lot of choices now. And so we've also looked at that part. But yes, gas is the big key. So you won't be worried about gas with this one.
All right, that's actually really helpful, because it's definitely one things that I'm always wary of, especially if we're having a lot of microtransactions. I mean that it adds up real quick. But in regards to bridging, are we talking a bridge? From what? From Polygon? From ETH? Like, where is this bridging going to happen, and can it go from what chain to what chain? Well, you don't have to tell me to what chain, but from what chain?
The options seem to be pretty much for all chains. The most native is, of course, from ETH, and so where we're looking to move, and just so everyone knows, we're always going to support the chains we're currently on and the future chains. It's not like if you hold tokens on ETH or Polygon, all of a sudden they're not going to be usable or not going to be worth what they are on the market. All that's still going to be intact, so you don't have to freak out or worry. Basically, if you want to bridge, you can. If you want to use this chain on mainnet, you can. But we will be moving the LP from ETH when that whole process is done. And we'll make all the announcements. Everyone will have plenty of warning and plenty of we'll have guides, we'll have everything ready. So just like we did with Polygon, it's quite seamless. Everyone can take their time. And of course, with the new chain having the biggest part of the LP across everything, we have a fixed supply. So it's all, it equates to the same. But people will be able to enjoy, if they want to get the tokens or sell or whatever. I mean, it'd be silly to sell at this point, but yeah, if they did, everything's very cheap again. The gas is very low, and we'll be going on to Uniswap, which is tried and true brand, very easily recognized, and every other option that integrates with Uniswap will be available too. And we'll have professional services helping us out, because again, we're partnered with Steer, who's been helping us with our Polygon ecosystem, managing all of that nicely for us, and keeping those LP pools secure and really well managed, all on chain. We're going to use their technology to help this whole thing be seamless as well. And so there's a lot of, without getting technical, there's a lot of performance benefits and things for users and for people getting tokens by the fact that we're going to Uniswap on Base as well. So using a trusted partner. So they're pretty good.
Awesome. Now, I just looked at the time. I want to make sure that I'm careful with it. We got 4 minutes. Let's say we got 4 minutes left.
Yep.
Big question that people are always afraid of is token price. Do you believe there will be token price issues by moving the LP around? Is that something to be concerned about?
That's another very good question. And that's actually why we were very planned out and coordinated with Steer. So they have a process to facilitate this migration very easily. And then when all the dates are set, it's all going to be done. And so there's going to be very minimal, and I know what you mean because I've seen this botched by a lot of new teams or new developers where they deploy a pool incorrectly and it causes a lot of problems. This will all be systematically done. So there's very little, if any, risk. It's all going to be pegged, to the market that it is already on. So we won't see a lot of price disparity. We won't see front running or arbitrage bots like extracting value from our ecosystem. When we do this, it'll all be quite smooth. So I'm very confident in that. And again, shout out to Steer because I've been talking with them all through our due diligence process with the chain selection, just seeing what options they have. They've been super awesome. Derek, their founder, Brandon, Sam, they're all awesome. So they've been step by step with us. So that's been really, really good. And I wanted to, it's very good questions you're asking, actually, because anyone listening, this should give you confidence too that it's all going to be quite seamless. Basically, once the announcements are done, you'll be able to do whatever you want. Bridge, boom. Access to tokens, boom. Acquire tokens, boom. All done, easy, no issues. And if you do have anything you want to ask, our community channels are really, really good. We've got great support, user support, and yeah, we're always here to help. So I'm pretty confident about it all.
I love it. Will we get that sound effect of the boom? Because you've said boom a few times today, and it's just making me excited. I want to click a button and go boom, but it's got to be your voice. Can we make that happen?
Do you want? Oh, I can do the boom sound effect.
Yeah, but it's got to be added to the extension, so it's more fun.
All right, if you click buy tokens, I will put a vocal soundtrack as an Easter egg, and it'll go boom. And then if you buy it, it'll play.
That would be pretty amazing.
I'll release
not that
version.
I'm complaining that I'm up like 65% on Mask right now over the last month, but
Wow, yeah. Well, we had a very good month, and yeah, it was really nice to see that. I was, like I said, I've said in many of these spaces, like I don't really look at the charts and I try not to let it bother me. But when you've come up almost 5 years and you see, where it's hanging, and you're like, man, we're so much better than this. We're worth so much more than this, just as a project with the tech here and the products and utility, bro, utility. Like you just chant in your head, why is it sitting like that? And then all of a sudden, that's picked up by the market and people are aware, and then that moves up. But we're in that season now. There's trends that come and go, and we're getting filtering back into yes, memes will always be a thing. There's a great culture of that, but we're going to be into that time where people are looking again, getting away from institutional crap, and they're saying, where are the projects with products like that I actually will use every day? And most people now are probably starting to think, wow, am I doing best practice online of keeping myself safe, secure? Am I getting restricted now on certain things I want to browse? Man, I need a solution for this. So hopefully when they start thinking that, they'll think of Mask, or they'll see Mask. Yes, we'll be doing advertising and marketing to get us into those thoughts and conversations. But please, if you're thinking about privacy, don't waste your money on ExpressVPN and Surfshark and all these crap companies, because guess who they're all owned by? I don't need to tell you. They're not that good. And sure, they will serve up your information on a platter. If anyone was to ever ask, hey, do you know who this user is? Sure. Here's their email. Here's a receipt. Oh, they used a credit card. Oh, yeah, the credit score's not that good, man. You better knock on their door. Something crazy like that. But it's better than nothing, right? Although I kind of don't agree with that statement too. Like some people say, yeah, it's better to have that than nothing. But is it? When like there's back doors and things like that. It's like I'm skeptical using Telegram sometimes now because it's become more aware. I don't know if you are, Action, using it less for certain things.
Yeah, let's not go into that one. That's a whole can of worms.
Yeah, I mean, it's just more that awareness, right? Like things change and you're like, I need to rethink my choice of apps, right? I think people should really think about that more in general. Not to always show mask, but just, your choice of apps and where you get them from, right? Because it's important.
Oh, absolutely. And like it is definitely more cumbersome. And that's what we kind of talk about time and time again. There is definitely more friction when you're trying to be more private on the internet. But, it's the cost of being private, the cost of actually owning your data. To me, it's worth it. Like I definitely moved over some people to Signal. And yeah, definitely, I haven't been doing anything private when it comes to WhatsApp. Because yeah, that's Meta. But yeah, I mean, Telegram definitely made me question a few things. And again, it's not always going to be the easiest thing for you to do, but I can tell you from personal experience, it's absolutely going to be the thing that is most worthwhile doing. So with that, you're saying next week. Just want to make sure that we got the dates right. Everything is on cue to roll out next week, Corey.
Yeah, we're pretty sure. We've got the timelines getting formed now with announcements and things like that. So, yeah, super excited for next week. If there's any, tech delays or whatever, we'll probably make a mention of it. And especially if you're listening to this, you're probably like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna write this in my calendar next week. It could be Thursday, it could be Friday, it could be whatever. Like, it's going to be around that time frame. And we've just got the last little pieces to get ready. But yeah, we're pretty excited about that. And that's pretty much kickstarting a whole string of really important things we're going to release as well as announce. And then, of course, we want to get feedback from the community, especially our core community who've been with us. And this month, before I finish, this month is our 5-year anniversary. That's amazing, isn't it? How many projects last 5 years with no funding and fucking crypto? Tell me.
I had to. I just had to.
I was channeling Gabriel Haynes right there.
Oh man, Gabriel.
I have a machete. I have a machete in my hand. I'm chopping my desk in half. Action right now.
Gabriel's a riot, dude. I get to hang out with that kid because of Karate Combat. You got to meet him in person.
Dude, I was just going to say he's one of the all-time most funniest guys in crypto, and he's one of the few I would love to just fly out and hang out with. Like, there's not many I would. You're one of them, Larry, Lonnie Coulier, a couple others, and then I was like, he doesn't know who I am, but I'd be like, bro, dude, I love you, man. You're so cool. You're so funny. Let's go out onto the town and make some lack of memories somehow with some drinks or something. We'll see what happens.
I am actually weary of hanging out with that kid just because you never know where the night's going to take you, kind of thing. So there is that.
Yeah. Don't have anything crypto related on you. Have your insurance policy up to date. Bring a helmet and don't bring all your bank cards, right?
I did a quick interview with him in Singapore. So at some point, maybe over the next month, you're going to see that come out from somebody. It could be the Influencer Fight Club account. It could be Karate Combat. It could be anybody, really, to be honest with you.
Oh, but yeah. That's cool. Well, hey, if you hang out with him or talk to him again, say, look, you've got a founder in New Zealand, Cowrie. He wants to like hang out one time. It'll be crack up, bro. He's a funny guy.
He'd probably be like, all right, cool. Let's go. Are we going tonight?
Yeah. He's like, yeah, it's ready, man. I've got my Tesla ready. I've rented it for the weekend.
He's one of those. He's absolutely one of those.
Oh, man. So good. And what's on your agenda next week, man? You're not doing conferences for a little bit? You're having a break now, right? The kids?
I am having a break because the kids are sick. So I waited till the last minute to buy my ticket just in case, scope the fam out and was like, yeah, we're going to stay home. We're not going to go anywhere. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I got to figure out what's next because we got so many things happening. I'm working with different people. So like even Web 2 stuff, people are asking me to go out to some Web 2 conferences, like tech conferences, and asking me like, hey, can you interview people in Web 2? Because like we want to get into Web 2 stuff, and bring people over, but we have no idea what they're talking about. Like, all right, I guess I can nerd out with anybody. So I might be going to some. My heart is in this, crypto space and seeing Web3, through and through to every household in the world. Like that is literally my dream. So definitely going to be doing a lot more deep in stuff. There's definitely some companies out there. Dude, I'll be honest with you. I'm getting hit up like crazy. I am behind like 4 videos. I have so much work. Like, if you guys don't think there's a bull market here, the amount of work that I have would say otherwise, because people are spending money like crazy to create content, to prep things for this final quarter of 2024. Everyone is getting ready for the markets just booming. So kind of exciting, to be honest with you. I'm not going to retire in 2025. I know a few people that have been telling me that they're going to do that. That's just not for me. But I'm excited about what's happening, because most of the last few cycles, I have not been the guy that's like, I'm going to profit like crazy. And I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'll make a little bit of money around this time around, just so I can, spend more time with the family. But it really boils down to being here. Just being here, honestly, is the most important thing. So for you guys that are coming in and out, my biggest, piece of advice is just be here. Be on the lookout for the things that are happening, the companies that are actually doing good things and moving the space forward, the ones that have been around for 5 years and are still here, because that actually speaks volumes to who they are, what they are, and what they, work for and believe in. So that's why I'm here hanging out with you, dude.
Yeah, man. Well said. You can't keep a good man down. And honestly, like, I am not surprised there's a big demand for you, your services, your eloquent hosting techniques and marketing and insight. And you're one of the good guys in the space, man. We've got a little crew, little KEL movement that Larry's coined, and that we all sort of mingle in. So there's, I hope to see more and more of people like yourself and others pushing that Web3 narrative and Web3 technology everywhere. And that's what we're here doing, man. So again, I appreciate you. Thanks for the awesome spaces today. Hope everyone got lots out of the space with some of the updates coming. I know we've been hard at work, so it might have seemed a little quieter than normal, but it's because we've got the biggest things in our history, 5 years running. The biggest things in our history are about to come. About to be launched. And if I've got anything to say about it, it'll all be hopefully popping before the end of the year, like everything that we've been talking about. So I'm pushing, and I'm doing, like, just before I sign off, like, 5 years, I am feeling tired. It's been a long slog doing this for 5 years, and I'm pushing the devs more than I ever have. I'm doing double meetings with them every week. There's probably 5 meetings a week. I'm not even a dev, but there's 5 meetings a week I do with our dev teams. We got 2 dev teams and marketing, and it's because it's all for this stuff. So for those of you who listened this whole time, thank you. You guys and girls are all here at the right place, the right time. And before I forget, shout out to all of our friends and family and loved ones and whoever we know in the southeast of the US, especially in Florida. I've got some close friends and family there. Praying for them while this big storm number 2 has rolled through. So hopefully they're all safe and sound. And if you know anyone there, check in on them, make sure they're okay. But yeah, they're in our thoughts and prayers. So everyone keep safe. Thanks again, Action, for your time, my brother. And yeah, let's rock and roll. Big things coming.
Let's do it, man.
Have you got an exit track for us?
I always got an exit track, because I want to make sure people remember that they got to go to maskbrowser.com, right? Did you say that? Did you say that, Corey? Like, I got to make sure that people know where to go.
You got my back.
I got you. That
was you.
No, we're here. We're here through and through. Like I said, it's a matter of being out here with the good people in the space, the ones that are actually going to be here through and through, regardless if it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That's what we're here for. We're here to see things through. And I'm super excited to be doing this with you, Corey, supporting Mask and everything that you all are doing, from browser to extension. But yeah, hopefully we can do these more often as these crazy announcements come out, because it's been exciting and I can't wait to see what's next. Thank you all so much, and we'll see you in the next space.